Warning, this podcast contains flash forwards, and that hurt my head. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for the Vampire Diaries Season 7. Jeez. Episode 1, Day 1 of 22,000, give or take. I'm your host, Dom. With me, my co-host, Nikki.
Hey.
And my co-host, B.
Hi.
How's it going? A.K.A. him.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah. So, before we get into the episode, I must ask you guys, was this a good episode for it being the first episode with Elena?
I enjoyed it thoroughly without Elena. It was a really good episode. I know there were some people saying that it was not the same as everything else. I don't know if I mean because there's no Elena.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they referenced her enough that she might as well have been in the fucking episode.
Yeah, that's going to be a running theme, I think, is we're still going to feel her presence. And, obviously it affects Damon.
Yep.
So we're gonna have the aftermath of that. And then, and Bonnie is clearly affected as well. And Caroline and everybody, really, But those three, I think, are the most. And surprisingly not Stefan so much. He kind of got over her.
He's done with that.
He's been kind of whatever about it for a little while, I feel. But, being that she technically, well, even though she's not there as far as we know, in their world she is technically still there.
Yeah, she's unconscious. She's like in a coma. She's like Sleeping Beauty right now.
Yeah.
Sleeping ugly. No, just kidding. She's really not ugly. I think Elena's gorgeous. But yeah. So the title of the episode equates to about 60 years from now. Day 122,000, give or take. So 60 years from now. So I'm like, what the hell does that have to do with what the hell is going on? Because we only had like a 3-year jump, and then all of a sudden it hit me, and I'm like, Elena is gonna die in like 60 years. So.
Well, Bonnie maybe,
and then
Elena.
I meant.
Yeah, it's Bonnie's gonna die in 60 years ish. I don't know how they just decided 60 years. Yeah, it's give or take.
Well, I mean, if she's 20 now, 60 years she'll be 80, and that's about the average lifespan.
That's what Damon's assuming, anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a witch. Like he said, she's a witch that tends to avoid actual death a lot.
Mm-hmm.
She might find a way to get around that again.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe she'll die before that. So
she could die tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not gonna happen because Nina's not coming back this season, so they're not gonna kill Bonnie.
Nope.
Basically,
anytime soon.
Well, yeah. Basically, what we can surmise from this whole thing is until we know what season is the last season of the Vampire Diaries, Bonnie will be alive. So anytime she's in a life or death situation, don't worry, she's not gonna die. So.
Because then they'll have to figure out what to do with Elena.
Right. So, with the absence of Elena, we also had the absence of Tyler and Jeremy, which kind of went noticed to me. Yeah.
I forgot they were even in this show.
Wow, that didn't dawn on me until just now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Stephen McQueen, the actor who plays Jeremy, has left the show, but is willing to come back in small capacities. So, we'll see him in guest star roles, for weddings and stuff. What I think is going to happen is they made such a big deal out of him leaving, and then Tyler was kind of swept under the rug, in regards to that. So I feel like Jeremy's really not leaving. I feel like he's probably taking half season or a full season off and then coming back to the show, which is why I set him up with the Hunter storyline thing, that he went to instead art school or whatever last season. So I think that's where that was set up and whatnot. Tyler, I think, is in the same kind of capacity, but we're probably going to see him more than Jeremy. Mm-hmm. But
I just had a crazy idea. Maybe they're doing something that you've been wishing for a long time, an actual Vampire Diaries supernatural crossover, and Jeremy's going to help Sam Dean.
That would be amazing.
Oh my god.
That would be amazing. No, I've said it so many times, but since you're new here, what I would love to see is for them to just be eating in the Mystic Grill and just Sam and Dean just chilling in a booth in the background talking. Never focused on them whatsoever, no dialogue from them, just have them sit in a booth in the back. It would be hysterical.
Dean with his pie.
Yeah, just for the people in the know, whatever. And it's like, oh
Yeah.
my god, and that's it. Like that way you're not breaking the two worlds, because obviously Vampire Lore is so different than the other. But
They are,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I was. I mean, I was just thinking. I'm all like,
Yeah.
yeah, a little bit.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we finally got to see this flash forward stuff in action.
Yeah.
And we were kind of like speculating what the hell was going on, at the end of last season. And it wasn't Damon going psycho and destroying town like
No.
we originally surmised. It was a lot to do with the heretics, which we should have assumed, but didn't.
Well, no, because it's a thing. Him just reverting back to the way he was, what he does when he gets upset. He gets all.
Yeah, that's what we thought.
Yeah.
So
Oh, well.
it's not far fetched to think that he goes off the deep end.
Right, I'm sure he does, but because we get to the point where we see Damon, Alaric, and Bunny, they're on a drunk tour of Europe, and they're all loving it, except for Bonnie, who's just kind of like feels like the babysitter and wants to go do like actual tourist things. And
But it's Alaric that kind of goes off the deep end.
He's done.
Yeah.
I don't
Very.
think Alaric is really off the deep end. I think Alaric is actually acting extremely rationally for this universe.
I mean, but for Alaric though.
Mm.
I mean, when he was like a vampire hunter, an original vampire. Yes, okay, he was a little fucked up in the head. He was crazy. He was angry, but you got to see him like full blown, just wanting to rip people's heads off because he wanted to figure things out to get you back.
Right.
But I mean, I would throw a couple punches at a fake psychic too, because they just take your money and sit on it.
Oh yeah, that was completely understandable.
Yeah.
I was all rooting for him.
I don't know, it's just like everything that Alaric's seen, everything that he's witnessed, and everything he's been through. Resurrecting your dead witch wife is not too far-fetched in this universe, and it's pretty fucking rational, if you ask
that
me.
part, that part I don't consider that part being up. But I mean,
But
he's pretending he's drunk. Meanwhile, he's doing whatever all the stuff on the side, wherever he got that gym from.
isn't the other side like gone?
Yes,
Yes.
How can he bring her back then?
that is a very good question. There's been some loopholes in the past, which we've seen on the originals, in terms of what was it the witches, the thing Davina was involved in, whatever, because the girls died and they were able to come back.
The
And then
harvest.
bringing Esther's mom back.
That all happened before the other side went down, though. I thought, like Esther came. She was one of the last ones to come back.
The father wasn't, though. The father was brought back afterwards.
Michael.
Yeah. So there's some loopholes that they're finding. There's some things, and I feel like if there was going to be a loophole on the Vampire Diaries, the Gemini Coven would have it. So.
True.
I don't know. It's going to come down to special properties of, Gemini Coven, and maybe, I don't know. I don't know where they can go with that. So.
I'm sure he'll find a way.
Of course you will.
Of course, they're not going to allude to this and then not explore it. So we're going to see it in action. We see Bonnie and Caroline are kind of running everything down, going off the very beginning of the show. The whole keeping a diary theme, so they're kind of getting back to their roots in that, which is okay, but we'll see how long that lasts.
I mean, for a first episode of a season, I can expect it, because, but if they keep doing that every episode, the narrating is going to be really...
I doubt it. I see, like we said, it's the first episode. They're also, alluding to, we're doing this for Elena kind of thing. And I mean, they did point it out quite a few times, and then they make jokes about, like, are you still doing that? That kind of thing. So I don't know if, it could possibly be touched randomly throughout the season, but I don't see it being a big thing other than this episode.
Yeah. Well,
I think it would get old fast.
Yeah. I was already getting aggravated with it in the first season, and then second season it was sprinkled here and there, and then I think maybe once or twice in the third, and then it like vanished after that, and then I think it came back like once last season. So.
There was a bit when they first started going to college.
Yeah.
Elena and Caroline.
Yep. Matt has actually made police duty now. So.
Yeah. About that.
About that.
About that.
That graduation, wasn't it so pretty?
I thought I was watching Game of Thrones.
I was. That's my red wedding joke.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so that leads us to the heretics, which we got to meet. We have Mary Louise and Nora, who is the show's first lesbian couple.
Mhm.
I think that's kind of cool that they are exploring things like that, because I know Originals had the first gay couple that we've seen in the universe, and now we have first lesbian couple. So I like that they're kind of exploring all kind of options here now. We get Valerie. She's just the miserable bitch.
I was trying to pronounce her name as I see it, and then I remembered that you like to do this to people like us who try to keep up with what you're saying. Valerie?
Yeah, my notes say Velrer. I like to keep you guys on your toes.
Yeah.
Then we had Bo.
She's so bitter.
Yeah, she is. We had Bo, which is actually I wrote it B-O, but it's spelled B-E-A-U.
Because it's French.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. He is a mute. He's got this crazy scar on his neck, which we'll get into a little bit later. And then we had Malcolm, who is just straight up Lily's favorite.
It made me sad.
Was
Like, I actually
Lily's
sad.
favorite.
Yeah.
Nah, I deserved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right off the bat, we start with 5 heretics, and now we're down to 4.
Already.
First episode.
Damn.
I feel like Malcolm's the Finn of the original family.
That's good.
It's like, we barely got to know you. We may see you a couple times in flashbacks, and that's about it.
Yep.
So, I don't know. But Lily's been teaching them to kind of integrate into the world and hide, but she's been doing a really terrible job at that.
That's because I ate it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, we're the most powerful beings in the world. Why can't we do whatever we frickin' please? You know? I get where they're going.
Yeah, I mean, like, they've been cooped up for 100 years. They missed an entire century locked in the prison world. So they kind of want to go out and explore things. And, like, Lily's like, oh, no, you can only have 3 drops of blood a day. You have to have these, like, terrible rations. And, like, they're finally free from this prison, and they feel like they're still in prison.
Speaking of being cooped up for a century, how did you like Valerie flicking on her phone like, oh, this thing
Oh,
sucks?
she was so mad.
She was furious.
Yeah, I thought that was cute, though.
Yeah.
Because I'd probably do the same thing.
I do that same thing. I'm always all like,
Yeah.
fucking hate your phone. I love you, but I hate you.
Yeah, so Damon was the one that came back and killed Malcolm, which kind of spiraled things out of control, because then the heretics retaliated and wiped out, like, the town.
No, Malcolm died near the end. They had already started evacuating the town when Malcolm got killed.
Yeah.
Was it that?
Yeah.
The retaliation was for the bomb.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, okay, sorry, yeah. Bomb.
Get ahead of yourself, sir.
Yes, I did. The bomb that they call a Lark up, and they're like, hey, we need one of your bombs. And Lark's like, well, I can't really talk about it here, and I need to go sober up, so let me go do
Sober
that.
up.
Yeah,
Fuck you, Alaric, you
in the meantime,
really good actor.
Liar.
Yeah, in the meantime, he sneaks off.
Well, he's like, I'm drunk all the time. I know exactly how to act like him.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
But yeah, so Matt and Caroline end up going into the house, planting the bomb, blowing the heretics up, which, not surprisingly, doesn't kill them. I felt like if the bomb went off and killed them all in the first episode, this would have been a really boring season.
yeah.
I mean, I didn't expect it to work. They
Yeah, I
had
don't know what-
they had to be locked up in a prison because they couldn't killed a bomb. Seriously, guys, use
Yeah, I
your
don't know what made
brains.
them think that they could just blow them. I don't because they're just like, let's build a bomb, whatever. It was a very interesting looking bomb, too.
This man would do more damage to the heretic than a frickin' bomb.
Nope. So then that's when, they make this big truce. They're like, evacuate everyone out of town. Anyone that stays, refuses to leave, or wanders into town, fair game for the heretics to feed off of. They start this whole thing. And then I'm like, what about Bonnie, who's like, just came home, They're not aware of this. Are they gonna like amend her now into like the terms, or did they set these terms in advance, like for Bonnie?
I'm guessing they probably set them ahead. And like,
Mom,
this is our people.
they were they're doing their last pick, like, last evacuations. They were picking up their own stuff, covering, just preparing to be away for a while. Pretty much the whole town was gone already, and that's when Damon and Bonnie came back, and neither one of them were going to accept this. Damon wants his house back, and Bonnie just wants the
Right,
town.
but what I'm saying is Malcolm did not recognize Bonnie.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, what happens now when the other ones run across Bonnie? Like, are they gonna know that she's an exception to this rule of the town being evacuated, or?
I would think not.
I don't think they know who she is. They're gonna find out real soon.
Yep, especially since Bonnie and Damon are BFFs, so.
Oh, yeah.
They are the best new murdering couple, I think.
The best new murdering couple.
The best.
They're Bonnie and Clyde.
That was a reference I was thinking.
That makes Damon Clyde, which is great. But then we kind of have Enzo, who's caught up in the middle of this whole thing. Like, he doesn't have a side. He's been hanging out with Lily, but Caroline's like, pick a side already. So he
did.
He did pick a side. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, going into this, like, why is he floating around? Like,
because I think he's still hanging on to Damon, and Damon's obviously on the other side.
Damon's dead.
No,
that's not what you meant. I think his friendship with Damon is still pretty strong.
Like I don't think Damon thinks the same of Enzo, but Enzo's still like infatuated with him in some way.
Right.
So
at one point, I thought Enzo had something for Caroline.
Oh, he does. He does.
So there's something going on with that, but
that's why he chose her. She was an easy target.
Yeah, because she didn't see it. Like she didn't. Like he kind of made friends with her a little bit, even though she hates him. But she allows him in her bubble, so he could get close enough to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like trust no one, and everyone's just like fuck off.
Yeah.
Since everyone fucks her.
Right.
Literally.
I'm very curious now where they're gonna go with the President storyline, because it seems like the town is gonna be really boring with everybody evacuated. So it's like, okay, we've seen Damon and Bonnie go back to Elena's dorm room. They're staying there, and because Damon can't go home, and there's gonna be a lot of like conflict with the heretics and stuff. But like, where are they gonna hang out? Like, are they just all gonna hang out at that college again? It's just like, hey guys, like, we're gonna pretend like we're going to school, and
there's nobody here.
The college isn't in town; it's on the outskirts of town, so that's not part of the barricade.
But not everyone left, so that's the question. I'm like, who are they gonna interact with each other?
Yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, but I think the dynamic that's gonna help us with that is this flash forward thing.
Yeah.
Because right. Oh, it's crazy, and I think they did it brilliantly, and I can't wait to see how this pans out for the rest of, I'm not gonna say the whole season, because this flashback thing, flash forward, flashback is not gonna last the entire season. It's probably gonna be a little bit longer than the mid-season when they said the timeline will catch up. So don't expect it all the way to the end. It's probably I'm gonna say probably about the 14 episode mark is probably when they catch up to the thing. Which kind of brings me to the originals. I just want to know when, since this is going to end up with 3-year gap from the originals, when the timelines there are actually going to catch back up, or if they are caught up, because we don't know exactly how. I mean, it hasn't been 3 years, but between season 2 and 3 originals.
No.
But we don't know the exact duration of time that is gone. I think it's only in a couple months. So if they're ever planning on doing crossovers at some point, they have to figure out a way to catch the timelines back up.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, in the flash forward timeline, we see Stefan waking Damon up. Damon apparently got too distraught from Elena, couldn't take it anymore, and put himself in, what did they call it? Desiccation?
Yeah.
State of desiccation in the coffin, and basically waking up when Bonnie's dead, kind of thing. That didn't last too long.
No,
You
when
wake
Elena
me up
wakes
when September ends.
Oh god.
Not when Elena wakes up is when Bunny's dead.
Yes. Waking up when Bonnie is dead. So something probably went down with their friendship for it to. We're BFFs and we'll get through this, and then we see 3 years and later, Damon's just like, well, I'm gonna go to sleep now. So, but anyway,
Did something stupid and get mad at him.
probably. But anyway, Stefan wakes Damon up, only to find that there is someone coming after Stefan. A girl. It's a she. She won't stop till Stefan is dead, is Damon's quote. Wakes up, like, spikes, they look like Alaric stake guns, flying the coffin. And Stefan is like, yeah, this wound I have reopened, and he, like, shows it or whatever. And it's the same wound that is on Bo's neck.
Mm-hmm.
It is the same cross, so...
I think it's some sort of hex. Or something. Because, I mean, it seemed like it reopened because she was near him. And further away, it got to heal and stuff like that.
Right. So I'm curious that wound is also what prevents Bo from speaking. So...
It's possible. I think it's related to the Gemini Coven, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking too. That it's like a witch hunter.
It's clearly gonna be someone who's around 100 years ago, or family of someone who's around 100 years ago, because Bo's been locked up for 100 years. So Gemini Coven would make sense, with the exception of the fact that all of the Gemini Coven died with Kai.
We know Alaric's trying to bring Joe back. So.
Right. So does that make the girl Joe?
That'd be interesting. She's back but it's like, what did Stefan do to these people?
Right, and at first I thought it was Caroline. But then I was like, no, that's not gonna make sense because that's not gonna tie to Bo.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's gotta be a witch. It's gotta be involved in the Gemini Coven. And something that we were really upset with last season, we were talking about Kai's death and how we were upset that Kai's not coming back. During the downtime and everything, we had some time to think, and Kai may not be dead. Well, Kai would be dead, but maybe not dead. Not gone. He died because he became a vampire heretic thing, right? So he died. But since he retains his magic, we've seen Kai in the past create illusions of himself.
Yeah.
He did that to get Elena stabbed with the stake when she was human.
Yeah.
So there is no reason that the Kai that Damon lopped the head off of could not have been an illusion. That leaves the opportunity for Kai to come back. However, is it... What's his name? Chris Parker? I can't think of the actor now that plays Kai. Oh no, Kai Parker is the character's name.
Yeah.
Who is he portrayed by? I gotta look now because that's gonna bother me. Chris Wood.
You had the first name right.
I had the first name, then took Kai's last name. Chris Wood. Chris Wood is in another TV series right now that is actually being shot by Julie Kleck. I forget what it's called. I'm gonna look right now. Containment. And he plays a lead role. However, the show does not start until May.
Okay. Well, a show that's not during fall. I'm excited about that.
Right. It was officially ordered as a series on the CW May 7th, and May 14th it was confirmed to air in mid-season. Oh, so maybe not. So this might fall on the winter break, something, I don't know. Or maybe it is the fall. I don't know. There's not been too much details about it. We don't know how many episodes or anything it is. We do know that Chris Wood will be having a lead role who plays like a cop. So it'll be interesting to see Kai on like the complete, Chris Wood on the opposite end of that spectrum. And since it is being done by Julie, who does the Vampire Diaries and originals, she kind of has control over everybody's schedules. So it'd be very easy for her to schedule Chris Wood to come back.
Mm-hmm.
in amidst all this, because if Julie's involved in all of this and involved in containment and Vampire Diaries and originals, like she's got to find time to be everywhere. So if she has time to do this, and that, she can find time to get Chris over. So even if it's a reoccurring guest role, or bring him back toward the end of the series for next season, if containment, if he doesn't last in the next season, or however that ends up working, if it gets renewed or whatever, we can get Chris Wood back. We've seen Alaric go off to explore other avenues and come back, so they could give us like 3 seasons from now and just be like, oh, by the way, Kai's back, and it would make sense. So I don't know. I'm excited. I want Kai. So that's all. The prospect of Kai coming back, that's all I want. And that's enough hope to get me through if the show goes on to another 40 seasons.
As long as he comes back before he actually dies in real life, yeah.
Right. Even if the Vampire Diaries gets canceled, I'm gonna hope that they just decide to do like a TV special with Kai, like or a movie, TV movie, you know, anything like just Kai.
Kai gets his own show.
Spin-off series, Kai, yeah. But I'd like to see the Heretics get a spin-off series in the same way that the originals have a spin-off series, and
yeah, well, I mean, it'd basically be the same storyline. So
yeah,
Yeah.
of, but different, because we have a family of vampire witches instead of a family of vampires, so we can see magic involved. Anyway, next episode is called Never Let Me Go. With an impulsive decision by Damon threatens to unravel a carefully negotiated deal between Stefan and Lily, he has no choice but to make amends with his mother before things spiral further out of control. However, Lily remains one step ahead and carries out a harsh plan that hits Damon where it hurts most. Elena? Does she kidnap Elena's coffin?
Mm-hmm.
She could totally. That's the only thing I can think of that hit Damon where it hurts most is Elena. So.
Well, it's always the groin that hurts pretty bad.
Not for a vampire.
I don't know.
She attempts to actually. I mean, obviously we know that he doesn't kill them, but
the coffin was spelled, so nobody could even open it.
Oh.
So she could just take the coffin.
Well,
I'm sure the coffin is gonna come up multiple times just to remind us about Elena. Like, yeah, even though she's gone. She's not going to be forgotten.
I don't need a reminder.
Elsewhere, after returning to Whitmore College, Lark turns to Bonnie for help with a mysterious and potentially dangerous artifact that he has obtained, which was a stone, which seems to have something to do with the heretics.
Yeah, Lily was looking for it. She sent Enzo to find it.
Yeah.
And he didn't go.
And he wouldn't go, yeah.
Matt is forced to make a risky life-or-death decision. Meanwhile, Caroline... who finds herself upon in Lily and the heretics' plan for retribution and uncovers a shocking detail about Stefan's past. Dun dun.
What? I mean, he was a Ripper for God's sakes.
Right?
I mean, what more could there be?
I thought we've known everything. What is?
I mean, I thought he was done with his backstory. It
might be before he was a vampire.
Where he tried to fiddle with Catherine.
No, between that.
Wait, what? Wait, before that?
You mean between Catherine?
Yes. We're not gonna get any Catherine flashbacks, so.
No, I know.
So it's got to be when she's not around. But there was stuff we've already seen with Damon and Stefan flashing back the mother's funeral, and we saw that last season, when they had the funeral when she wasn't really dead, you know. So. I'm sure that there's some story that's going to go on around that era, because if it's going to deal with Stefan's past, it's going to involve Lily, so.
Yawn.
Sick, I'm done with this.
So we get the past flashbacks, we have flash forward flashbacks, or flash forwards.
Forward.
We're going to get present day flashes. Caroline's going to flash Enzo.
Where's the DeLorean? 'Cause I feel like we need one.
Pretty much. Or I guess Caroline flashed Stefan because they're back on Hot and Heavy again, right?
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Which, ironically enough, we're joking around about this. I remember when the Vampire Diaries started. I think it was Nina, the actress who plays Caroline, and Bonnie all got arrested for flashing over a bridge when they were filming. So.
Girls. Come on.
Little news. I mean, it was 7 years ago. They were really young. I think Nina was like 18 at the time.
You know what? I was 18 once, and I never flashed anybody because I was smart.
Or not a lot of fun. One of the two.
I'm staying out of this conversation.
Anyway, I think that about wraps the show up. On that note.
Did a lot of stupid things.
Yeah. Nikki, where can the people find you keeping your tata inside your shirt?
On Twitter, LadyVenom24. LadyVenom24.
Kim, where can
Yeah.
people find you laughing to death?
Yeah, that place there. H-U-F-F-I-T-Y.
Excellent. And you can find me down below at Phenomedom, PHENOMEDOM, where you could find me not
Torturing.
Yes, there we go. Torturing everyone.
Yes.
You could also find us on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTV podcast. Some more podcasts from some of your favorite T shows. Till next week,
Ta-da.
set them puppies free.
Bye.
No, the puppies are gonna stay on a leash. They ain't getting out of the yard.
It's because their noses are cold, right?